Alright guys, welcome to my Assassination Rogue Guide for Mythic Plus here in Dragonflight Season 3. In this video here I will cover all you need to know here for your talent, how to play your spec, and how you can optimize your rogue to do the most damage here playing Assassination. And in addition to that, we're going to give you two specs here. One talent that is best for AoE and it's going to do a lot of trash damage, and one that is like more single target focused and with some AoE capabilities that are built off the raid spec if you want to optimize like playing in fortified and tyrannical weeks. In addition to that, I will share with you my weak auras and give you a few macros to make your gameplay a lot easier so you don't end up in sticky situations where you're going to miss out on a lot of damage. And of course, if you like and enjoy the video here, as always, don't forget to consider drop a like, leave a comment what you thought of it, tell me what spec you want to see me do a guide on next. Also, don't forget to check over the live stream over on twitch.tv/killerchris. There will be a link to that and the rest of my social medias below. Alright guys, here, so for building a character, like there's three stats we want. We want haste, we want mastery, we want crit. Crit and mastery are very valuable, that is what we're going to prioritize, but we will need some haste. Always simulate your character, what you are going to get, but stat priority is going to be like crit equals mark history over haste over verse, with a certain amount of haste being absolutely paramount. Simulate your character, find out, you can check raidbots.com and like just plot in your character and simulate what's going to be best for you. A teeny tiny bit of burst is also really great to have. And again, if you don't have the exact right stats on gear, it's one of the good benefits of Assassination is that we want a mix of stats. So if you're a bit low on one side or a bit higher on some other side, we can simulate a character. We can swap those out with gems and enchantments. We don't have to go and farm for more gear. A+. For our trinkets, smaller trinkets are really good. Coiled Serpent trinket is kind of but it's what I got here. Coiled Serpent trinket, you can see. In order to that, Accelerating Sandglass is really good. And Mastery trinket from Everbloom. The branch is insanely good. It's about a 10k DPS increase for me at the moment on simulations. But those are simulations. Can vary. And it also depends on how you use that trinket with like stacking the bubbles and stuff like that. I'd say here with the smaller run trinket, Ashes with Embersoul, it can proc once extra every combat, which can be really good for Mythic Plus times if you get to drop combat as a Assassination rogue. That is really needed. So you could tie it together and get some good benefit there. Oh yeah, and craft Toxic Form Float Wrap is actually the first one. And then I recommend you get Toxified Patch, get it in whatever bracer or belt piece normally, whichever has craft stats on you already. You could also get it on your off piece for tier specs. Nick of Time as well here, the daggers from Fall are base. That each time strike is about a 1% damage increase. Just for that little time strike bonus alone, that is a lot of damage. So definitely worth going to farm. I'm still farming one more. Alright, so before I show you all the talents here, I would like to show you some of the macros that I like to use. So, Assassination works a lot around dealing with poison and cleaving with the poison due to one of the talents that we have that causes nature damage to splash. Which means our Kingsbane damage is going to be increased a lot onto the other targets that we have, and which means we need to hit the Kingsbane target. When you're doing a lot of damage and you have a lot of stuff, I recommend using a macro like this here. So this is my Deathmark macro, and it basically says, okay, if I don't have a type, we don't do anything. Then it says cast Deathmark, then we use our trinket, and we set that target to focus. And right after that, we press Kingsbane. You could also throw Kingsbane onto this here instead of like Deathmark, but I used the trinket as well. You could also have another macro for your Kingsbane that sets that target to focus. And then we have another macro, and this is where the magic stones come in. It's just a simple macro that targets focus. You can take this, you can bind it here, and you can take this and put it here. And then whenever you burst and you like Cleave and you need to interrupt something, you can just press this macro and you're back at the target you're supposed to be hitting. And no more, oh shit, I lost my Kingsbane target and now I can't do any damage. These macros here, along with the talents and a link to the weak auras, will be in the description. And I'm talking about these weak auras here that I have from my rogue in the description of the video, so go and check it out over there. And while you're there, tell me, Uncovers, did this little macro trick here help you out? Or was it just a waste of time? Personally, it helped me out a lot. I may also just be bad and lose my targets. Who knows? Alright, so for the talents here, this is the build that we are going to use for our single target priority weeks, tyrannical weeks, and it builds pretty much off the raid talent set. The talents over here we're not going to spend too much time on. We have Deep Australian, Shadow Dance. Should we get Thistle Tea as well so we get some more energy? We're going to be a lot of energy constraint. Want to make sure we have Subterfuge so we can get out a lot more bleeds with Garrote. And we want to make sure we have improved Ambush. It's pretty fine over here, right? Alright, so for our assassination talents here, this is where it gets a bit tricky. This is almost the exact same as the raid build. Few key differences. So we skip Master Assassin, we take Iron Wire, we take Indiscriminate Carnage, and we can swap the talents over for the build that I use on the other weeks. I'll leave both of them down here. So here we'll have Scent of Blood, because we have some more time to set up when the mobs are a bit stronger. We have Dashing Scoundrel, get some more energy, we still have Poison Bomb. We have Crimson Tempest. Again, we have more time to set up the dots, so we can do a lot more damage. And we still have Shadow Dance. We still have Tight Spender. It's quite similar over here. There's a few differences. Again, I'm not going to go too much into the talents because you're just going to copy-paste it anyway. So, let me show you how you play the specs instead. Alright guys, so let me show you a bit on how the Assassination Rogue goes in the opener and how we play it. So this is the spec with Crimson Tempest, so the ad heavy AoE spec. So what we wanted to do here is like, we're going to make sure that we have all our poisons on, and then we are going to dot up as many targets we want. We want to like use Garrote twice in one target, then Rupture, then we are going to or not Vendetta, we are going to Deathmark. Jesus Christ, I'm still stuck in the old days. Deathmark, Trinket, and we want to make sure we Kingsbane, and then follow it up right after with a Mutilate or Ambush. That way we end up proccing our Caustic Spatter and we get the splash damage from the Kingsbane's full on. Then we're going to press status damage. We are going to do as much Cleave as we can, silence a few targets and spread more Garrote if we need to. And just make sure we keep that Envenom up and the damage increase from the Shadow Dance up. Then we are going to Vanish when there's 3 seconds left on our Kingsbane, making sure we are pumping out all that. And we want to set Crimson Tempest up after, like, during the Shadow Dance here. So let me show you how it goes. So we are gonna go, I'm just gonna see here so you can see what I'm doing. Cool. We're gonna go dot, Rupture, there. We can do this now. And we're gonna ship. There's no reason to ship the other targets that isn't our main target here, because we are benefiting from our Kingsbane splashing onto the other targets, so we don't really want to ship the other targets. It doesn't really make any sense. We can throw a Slice and Dice up. Ideally, once you're playing, you really want to Slice and Dice up before every pull, before you go, and you'll just finish it up before the next pull. That's how the burst goes, and then you really just flip out and pump as much as you can. Get your bleed set up. So we Garrote, we Rupture. You can do 2 Ruptures. The big package that's going to last a long time. You can do 2 Ruptures. So you have bleeds on 5 targets. Then we're going to do Crimson Tempest. Then we are going to pop our burst on 1 target, which means we are going to Deathmark, we're going to Kingsbane, and we are going to use a Mutilate. And then we are just going to slam Envenoms into that target, getting as many poison procs and as much splash damage from the poison out as possible. The other build, it works kind of as in a similar way. So we have our single target build here. And what we are going to do here when we open is kind of the same. So we're going to bleed, we're going to Rupture, and then here we're already ready to drop our burst here. And this build here works more with bleed damage when it does poison damage. It is stronger for single target, and see our burst is not quite as high, but we'll have a lot more single target damage, which will be a lot more valuable here during the tyrannical weeks. Also, you won't be able to in the tyrannical weeks, you won't be able to have the packs up as long as you do in the fortified week, so you won't be able to get as much value out of the setup because mobs are going to die before you're going to be finished like building up your Kingsbane. So that's why we play this build here, unless you're playing really high keys and you really don't have a lot of AoE in. But if you're playing with a couple of other specs that are very high in AoE damage, this is definitely the way to go. And I want to thank you very much for watching this guide here on how to play Assassination Rogue. And if you like and enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe once again. Check out the live stream over there. And yeah, if you want to see how I did it here in the fortified week, here is a little clip of me running a 24-hour title. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.